Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now I want to bring you a story that we mentioned earlier this morning. For those of you again who may have missed out, 21-year-old David Garrett Jr. was arrested earlier this morning by Greenville police. Police say they were called to the area of Square Street and Terrace Court at around 3 a.m. this morning for a report of shots fired. Officers found that Garrett had shot at a car several times while it was occupied by 4 people. Now, police say none of the 4 people in the car were hurt. Garrett was charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill and 2 counts of discharging a weapon into occupied property. He was taken to the Pitt County Jail and booked under a $150,000 bond. And the government shutdown may have ended last night, but air traffic problems still persist. NBC's Sam Brock has more.
It has been an incredibly bumpy last month and a half for travelers, but it appears finally there could be some stabilizing in the works. This after the federal government came out last night and Secretary Sean Duffy for Transportation and said they're going to cap the flight restrictions at 6%. Was supposed to go to 8% today and 10% tomorrow. That is no longer happening with the shutdown deal now in place. The question becomes, will that lead to a scenario where enough controllers are coming to work and not calling out because of what's happening in Washington that the volume can resume? They're sort of taking a wait-and-see approach right now. We start the day with roughly 1,000 cancellations nationwide, but in terms of the individual numbers at airports, we're at Newark right now. It's about 75 flights, or roughly 6%. O'Hare has the most at roughly 100. Atlanta Hartsfield Airport also has around 90, 95 cancellations, but those figures were orders of magnitude higher just a couple of days ago. And perhaps most importantly, the delays have really been minimized. 500 nationwide right now. It was 6, 7, 8, 10,000 a couple of days ago, and things are moving smoothly behind me. It is worth noting the staffing triggers were really what was at the heart of all of this. A lot of controllers that weren't getting paid for weeks, really, a month and a half, calling out sick, and it led to volume having to be reduced at airports nationwide. Secretary Duffy says it peaked at 81 last Saturday, then it was down to 11 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday. As of this moment, there are not any staffing triggers nationwide. If that trend line continues, you can likely expect to see things resume to normal in the coming days. One more point here, Airlines for America, a trade industry or group representing airlines, says that there is an important factor that needs to be discussed. There is $5 billion plus, they say, in a trust fund that the FAA has that could have been used to pay air traffic controllers and TSA agents during the shutdown, and it wasn't tapped, it wasn't used. They want to know why, and they say they don't want our nation's airport employees to be thrown in as collateral damage the next time there is any sort of back and forth in Washington over funding the government. At Newark Airport, Sam Brock, NBC News.
Thank you very much, Sam, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. Earlier this morning, air temperatures were down in the low to mid 40s across most of eastern North Carolina. Now, of course, we did have some variability there. Hatteras was at 54 degrees for the morning low, Kenansville at 37. But the point being is that our morning lows this morning were on par with where we were for our Tuesday afternoon highs. That's an eastern North Carolina forecast for you if there's ever been one. Just the snap heating and the snap cooling that we get here feels like it's second to none. Well, we are on our heating trend that will take us up into the 70s this coming weekend, but for today, likely looking at mid to upper 60s coming up this afternoon. Already looking at the mid 60s across many inland areas, Oriental, New Bern, Washington, New Bern again, all coming in, and Beaufort, all coming in at 65 degrees right now. Hottest spot on the map is Jacksonville, enjoying 68 degrees. But as you get closer to the Albemarle Sound and the Virginia line, you are still seeing some 50s there. 59 degrees in Roanoke Rapids, 59 in Ahoskie. We've got 56 in Manteo, 57 in Plymouth, 60 degrees in Edenton, as well as Elizabeth City and Hatteras for that matter. But here's a look at what it's looking like outside through central Craven County along the Neuse River. Northwesterly wind blowing in at 12 miles an hour comes with, again, a 65-degree air temperature. That is our average for this time of year. From here on out, we're going to be warming. I think we probably have another 2, 3, possibly 4 degrees of heat left for today. So as we, again, continue to watch these northwesterly winds try to cool us down, they're really going to struggle to do so. Afternoon heat, again, should end up taking us at least mid-60s. We're kind of there already, but we could, again, get a few degrees warmer, perhaps surpassing our expected high for today. Later on this evening, air temperatures will be falling back down into the upper 40s by 8, mid-40s by 10, and then waking up tomorrow morning possibly in the mid to upper 30s. I think inland areas will certainly see the mid to upper 30s. Those of you watching along the coast could certainly stay in the low 40s. Now, heat coming up for tomorrow is going to be again regulated by the northwesterly winds. Back to the mid 60s coming up for tomorrow afternoon. But if you're hoping again for that big push of heat, a little bit more warmth for the weekend, you don't want to have to worry about debating on whether or not you have to wear pants or shorts. Well, this weekend, at least from my perspective, is a shorts weekend. 70 degrees coming up on Saturday, 77 on Sunday, thanks to high pressure systems continuing to flow across the Gulf Coast states. That will keep us sunny and dry, certainly dry. There will be a few clouds around at times over the weekend, but again, still certainly looking like a very dry forecast until we get into next week. And we do certainly need some of the raindrops to fall throughout eastern North Carolina. Right now it looks like Monday night into Tuesday morning will be our best opportunity for those showers to fall. I don't think they're going to hit everybody though. So everyone again needs the rain, but not everybody is going to see the rain. Hopefully that changes sooner versus later. But right now, again, just looking at that chance on Tuesday, perhaps Friday we'll see another round of rain. Next Friday, another round of rain show up. But right now, again, even that opportunity isn't looking like a guarantee or a slam dunk. Well, that's all we have time for today's noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday.